Hi everyone. So this time, uh, let me start again this report regarding five objectives that we have: make statement of problems, sub problems, how to make sub problems, hypothesis, and how to construct your research problem. I will be using this title done by the students. So we have very nice title done by Julie, Jason, and Jonathan. Their study is entitled Perception of Social Media Advertisement, Its Impact to Frequency of Ball Buying Decision Among Grade 11 Students in Western Mindanao Municipality. Now, in this case, this topic, we have social media as one variable, and they choose as impact to the frequency of buying decision, frequency of buying decision. So how many times does a person buys? Okay, so that's their goal. So let's start from let's copy this one. Let's start from uh, how are we going to make, if this is our title, how are we going to make the statement of the problem as stated on my first video. So right now we will start on statement of the problem. Statement of the problem important. So let's say the main thrust of this study is to find out the impact, kasi impact ang nakalagay yun, is to find out the impact of of is to find out how, say for example, is to find out how social media advertisement, how how social media advertisement can impact the frequency 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 of buying decision, frequency of buying, uh, how to find out how social media advertisement can impact to the frequency of buying, and decision making. So duha ka variable, frequency of buying and frequency and making its decision among grade 11 students in W among grade 11 students of Western Mindanao, Western Capital, Western Mindanao Adventist Academy, school year 2019-2020. So this is the so we have made the statement of problem. So let's have the sub problem. So if we have this statement of the problem, automatically the next paragraph would be specifically it will answer the following questions. Okay. So let's focus first on perception of social media. So say for example, what is the level of what is the what is the perception on social media advertisement as perceived by the respondents. So ang first questions is being asked to find out to measure the first variable, the independent variable. Next is what is the what is the level of what is the level of what is the level of frequency of buying as perceived by the respondents. What is the level of frequency of buying as perceived by the respondents? Number three, what is the level of buying buying what is the level of buying uh, what is the level of decision making as perceived by the respondents? Okay, so very important. And after that, since we have relationship, so let's have, is there a significant relationship between the perception on social media and social media advertisement and frequency on frequency of buying decision as perceived by the respondents. Number 5, kopyahin na lang natin. Number 5. Considering their gender. Is there a significant relationship between perception of social media advertisement and frequency of buying decision? What is the level of what is it? Tingnan natin yung anong level. Frequency of buying decision. Dalawa. So here we have buying decision as perceived by the respondent. Second one is there a significant relationship between the level the perception, is there a significant relationship between the perception of social media advertisement and frequency of buying and frequency of buying hindi naman parang mali. Frequency of buying and buying decision. Is there a relationship of what is the level of frequency of buying as well? What is the level of buying decision? So on number 4 we have, is there a significant relationship between social media advertisement and frequency of buying and buying decision? Kasi tatlong as per say by the respondents. Buying and buying decision. So as you can see, this one here, the specific questions, we have 5 specific questions. The independent variable question, on the dependent variable we have 2. frequency buying and buying decision. Yan, anything na ano para marami para pat lang ka question. So, we can have it para the same. Okay, so therefore, next is you copy this one for our hypothesis. Hypothesis. So here, only number 3 and number 4 has the hypothesis. So here, instead of alternative, since they are, it is null hypothesis. It is there is no significant relationship between like that. So instead of is there a question, mo naman siyang alternative, like that. So this is now the hypothesis. So you notice, number 1, there is no need to put a hypothesis, since it's more about it's more about descriptive lang, i-describe na siya. But here, since we are using now person R, which is to measure out the relationship, if there is a significant, what is the significant, is it positive or negative, or is it there is no significant? Kasi tatlo lang yan eh. Positive significant, a positive relationship, second, negative relationship, or non-related to each other. There is no relation. Okay, so that is so we have make the statement of problem, sub-problem, hypothesis. So let's have the research paradigm. So ito yung research paradigm nila. I want to share it para you will know how they are, how did they make their paradigm. So if you can see here, sa kanilang independent variable and dependent variable, so as I said in my first video, I take very important is their domain. So ang perception nila, when you say perception, is more of idea, knowledge. So here, ang ilang perception of social media advertisement is about awareness, and second is knowledge. So when they are asked, what is your study all about in terms of social media advertisement? So they just measured out their category. The scope of their study is only on awareness and knowledge. Knowledge on social media advertisement and aware if they are aware. That's it. That's it. The dependent variable, we have the frequency of buying, like to refer it to the price and to the brand loyalty. Remember, this case here, these domains are supported by literature. Buying decision, brand familiarity, brand name, these are based on a literature review. There are authors or there are other studies that also uses these domains. And on their moderator variable, they use gender, since this is very common. Gender as moderator is very common. There is a lot of uh, manuscript. There are a lot of study about it. So it is just very easy to find literature, because sometimes um, we cannot find any document that support the moderator, so it could have a hard time. Okay, so right now that is all about today. So I hope you learned something on how to make statement of problem, sub problem, hypothesis. This is now our example. I hope that you learn on this episode of your. God bless.